Okay, so for the last 2 weeks of school, you have two assignments to complete. Neither of these are difficult, okay? They're just kind of a review of the year. So you have 2 weeks to work on these and get them turned in. So the first one is a create your own country assignment, and you do have a little bit of freedom as far as how you want to answer these questions. So the directions say be creative. You've studied government all year. Now it's time to make your own country by answering the questions below. So you have the option of either answering these questions in a separate Google Doc. So instead of trying to type it up on this sheet, just open up a separate Google Doc, type number one and your answer, number two, your answer, so on and so forth. Or if it's easier for you to just create a Google Slides presentation and just put number one and the answer to number one on a slide, number two, the answer to number two on a slide, whichever you would rather do. So you can do it in Google Docs or in Google Slides that answers the questions. So you're making your own country. Essentially, you're establishing your own government. That's this assignment. So it says name your country, choose a national symbol, decide on your population, describe what type of system of government you have. So we've obviously discussed representative democracy this year, but if you want your country to have another type of government, it's your country. Do what you want to do. Number 5, what will the title will the leaders have? So you're going to have a president, you're going to have a king, so on and so forth. Describe in detail, so give me a few sentences here instead of just one sentence, how your government will create laws. So are you going to have a Congress, Parliament, so on and so forth? How are they going to make laws? Number 7, what cabinet departments will you have? So these are just some of the cabinet departments that we have in the United States. So think about that, what you would have. How many branches of government will your country have? Give them some titles or names. Create 5 to 10 laws for your country. So give me at least 5, but if you want to go further in depth, that's fine too. You can give me 5 to 10. 5 to 10 rights, if any, for the citizens of your country. So give me 5 rights at least for your country. 3 obligations or things you have to do for the citizens of your country. Which countries will you have as your allies? Describe your security forces. Okay, so what's your military going to be like? Regarding the use of your military, will you be more aggressive or peaceful? Okay, so how are you going to deal with any kind of threats to your country or to your allies? What kind of taxation system are you going to have? And then these are just yes or no questions. So will your citizens be allowed to vote? Will your nation allow the death penalty? Will your nation have an official religion? Will you have the right to bear arms, national health care, clean energy? Find 2 or more pictures that represent what your country looks like, and then just give me 3 extra details about your country at the very end. So it seems like a lot as far as a bunch of questions, but I don't expect this to take you very long to complete. So again, you can either answer the questions in a separate Google Doc, or you can create a Google Slides presentation. So again, this is one of those last 2 weeks of school assignments. So you have multiple days to work on this and get this done, get this turned in. The other assignment that I want to go over with you as one of the final 2 assignments is this historical snapshot. So distance learning during the coronavirus. So we all know that COVID-19 started in March of last year, and it's something that we've all had to deal with this school year, okay? So it has definitely altered how we have done school, but also just the rest of your life. It's really impacted it. So you are living in history. So this is something that we're going to talk about, years to come, this coronavirus situation and everything that's happened. So students of the future are going to be learning about the events which you're currently experiencing. So as a high school student, this is putting you in a really unique position. Only you can really understand, comprehend, or express what you're going through during this time. So you have the opportunity to record and share what life is like for a high school student during the era of social distancing and school closures or changes. So we've had a lot of changes with school from March of last year to now. So you're essentially creating a historical snapshot. And it says project here, but really this is more of an assignment. Again, this is one of those assignments that you could get done in a few minutes, just if you sit down and do it. So I want you to decide how you're going to organize and share this. So if you want to write an essay, answer each question individually, maybe in a paragraph, create a Google Slides presentation, make it like a diary entry. So long as you're answering each question and the assignment requirements are below with a thoughtful response. So give me at least 3 to 5 sentences for each one. So I understand this has been a stressful and difficult year for many of you, so I want you to be creative and have fun with this assignment. The only thing I ask is that you include the requirements. So these are the requirements for your assignment. So again, if you want to just answer each of these questions in 3 to 5 sentences, you can open up a separate Google Doc and do that. If you want to do it in a Google Slides presentation and answer each question in a slide, you can do that. If you want to write a longer essay or a diary entry, that's fine too. Whatever is easiest for you. So it says, number 1, discuss how your daily routine or life has been affected as a result of the pandemic. So think over this past year. How has your life changed? How has it been affected? Number 2, because this is a government class, discuss the government's response and handling of the pandemic. What do you think was done well? What do you think could have been handled differently? Number 3, discuss your school year. What was it like to start the school year virtually? If you're an in-person student, what has school been like? If you are virtual, what has it been like to complete your sophomore year online? What's been your biggest challenge and what have you enjoyed the most? So this is the longest question, okay? So this is where I expect maybe a little bit longer of an answer. Number 4, if you could talk to future generations, your children or grandchildren, what would you want them to know about your experiences during this pandemic? And then finally, where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now? Has the onset of coronavirus changed your outlook or expectations for the rest of your life? And then just explain your answer. So again, this is your first assignment for the final 2 weeks of school. So creating your own country. So again, you can either create a Google Doc or a Google Slides presentation and answer these questions, creating your own country. And then the second assignment is this coronavirus historical snapshot. So you will answer each of these 5 questions. And again, you can do that in different ways as well. You decide what is best for you. So these are your 2 assignments for the last 2 weeks of school. Okay, so you have multiple days to work on this and get this done. Nothing super pressing so long as it's turned in by the due date. Please let me know if you have any questions.